Hello everyone, I'm Vignesh Sivakumar from Phoenix Financial Training, here to share some tips relevant to the upcoming ACCA Advanced Financial Management exam that you will all be going into. The exams comprised of 3 questions, 1 of 50 marks and 2 of 25 marks. In these questions, there are some core topics that are very frequently examined, such as questions based on the concept of discounted free cash flows. Now, this may take the form of either valuation of companies using free cash flows to entity or equity method, or alternatively, questions may be based on appraising projects using free cash flows. This may include appraising projects which are in a foreign currency, or alternatively appraising projects which are specifically financed through techniques like APV. Quite obviously, when doing such questions, you will also be required to calculate the appropriate discount rate, whether it be WACC or KEI. And this yet again can be very well practiced by looking at sufficient past exam questions on these areas. Once you do a couple of questions, you will be well prepared to go in and tackle these numerical elements. Now, across board in both valuations as well as in the case of investment appraisal, it is important to note that there will be additional discursive questions that come along, such as, say for example, in the context of valuations, you need to be prepared to discuss concepts of synergy, difficulties in realizing synergy, certain regulatory aspects and defenses against takeover. These are all areas that are very frequently examined. In the context of investment appraisal, again, you need to be prepared to discuss assumptions related to your calculations, as well as other factors affecting the decision. This may be ethical considerations, other environmental considerations that you would need to factor in before you make a final decision. It is possible that you may also be asked to discuss or calculate the impact of real options, such as an option to abandon or an option to expand, on the value of an existing project. So you need to be able to use the Black-Scholes option pricing model, or at least explain how it is used and how it affects the value of a project. In addition to this, another area that is virtually certain to be examined is risk management. Now, you may have questions on either interest rate risk or foreign exchange risk. This is likely to be a numerical question with discursive elements attached to it. Now, this may mean you may have to hedge using various techniques such as futures, options, forwards, and then comment on which of these techniques would be more suitable for the company. You also need to have an appreciation of the dynamics of the derivative market, how these instruments work, how OTCs are different from market traded. You can be asked discursive questions on this area as well. Please also tidy up your theoretical knowledge on basic terms and concepts like MBO, MBI, various sources of finance and when they are suitable, as well as concepts in Islamic finance, because these could very well be add-on questions, discursive questions that come as a part of the numerical elements. And they can get you some easy marks, provided you are able to explain these terms and also, more importantly, relate it to the context of the question. Now, for those of you who've been on the revision classes, you would have observed that the discursive questions are not just about reproducing all the knowledge we know, but trying to use illustrations and examples from the scenario to back up our justification and comments. So please make sure you are working on those things that we have constantly emphasized during revision, and for the others it might be useful to just go back, look at past exam questions and understand how these theoretical questions are being done. How does the examiner relate back to the scenario, so that you can try and do that in your upcoming exam as well. So I think that covers the key points, core focus areas you need to be focusing on. When you do the exam, please be very meticulous about time management. That is a very, very critical aspect of passing AFM. It's a very time pressured exam. As long as you manage time, do a reasonable bit on all the different parts of the question, not panic about one or two small disturbances or nasty questions that might come up, but focus on the larger majority of the questions, which will generally tend to be mainstream. You should do really, really well. So I wish you all the very, very best for your upcoming exam.